In this video, I'm going to quickly explain how this entire train accident happened in the Indian state of Odisha and who is responsible for it. I will try to explain the entire incident in a simple manner so that you will be easily able to understand how it happened and what could be the main reason behind it. The first thing you need to know is that this incident happened in the state of Odisha and more specifically in the district of Balasore. Balasore is the last coastal district of Odisha because after that you technically enter West Bengal at Kharagpur station. Balasore was previously called Baleshwar. What happened is that on the 2nd of June on Friday at 6:55 p.m. in the evening, a massive train accident occurred. There were 3 trains involved consisting of 1 cargo train and 2 passenger trains. Around 300 people have died and more than 800 people have been injured. Many people have gathered near the accident site to donate blood. The Prime Minister himself went to the accident site. Due to this accident, the launch of Goa-Mumbai Vande Bharat Express was delayed. Now the question is, how did this accident happen? Who made the mistake that caused this accident? Should the railway minister resign? What about the Kavach security system, which could have prevented such accidents? Kavach or armor is an automatic train protection system indigenously developed by Indian Railways through Research Designs and Standards Organization, RDSO. Initial development of Kavach started in 2012 under the name Train Collision Avoidance System, TCS, and completed development in 2022. The Kavach system is a Safety Integrity Level 4 certified technology. Once implemented, Kavach will be the world's cheapest automatic train collision protection system, costing 50 lakh or 5 million rupees per kilometer to operate compared to about 2 crore or 20 million rupees worldwide. But unfortunately, the Kavach is implemented only on 1445 km route and 134 stations in South Central Railway Zone, while implementation on 1200 km is underway out of 34,000 km route. Let's us understand how this Kavach system works. So, there is a system installed in the trains called Train Collision Avoidance System or TCS. Suppose 2 trains are running in a single line towards each other. TCS will get the signal from the sensors installed on the rail sleepers and same signal is transmitted to station by radio communications. Now the TCS control the speed of the trains by tracking their speed and locations and stop the trains at particular distance. Now let's back to the original topic, that is the train accident. I read several reports for this video. So, I want to tell you how this accident happened. Look at this, which was shown to the Prime Minister at a meeting. This is a simulation of the train accident that took place at Behnaga station in the Balasore district of Odisha. There are 2 mainline tracks at this station. One is called the up main and the other is called the down main. 2 trains can go in different directions on these 2 mainline tracks. And on the side of the 2 mainline tracks are loop tracks. Loop tracks are used when a train needs to be stopped for the time being. For example, 2 trains are coming in the same direction. But let's say one train is slower. Then that train will be asked to stop at the loop track for a while, so that the fast train can pass through the main line. The 12841 Shalimar Chennai Central Coromandel Express was on the main upline of this station. This train is also called the Hospital Express in Bengal, because this train takes lower middle class Bengalis to Tamil Nadu's Vellore for treatment. This is why this train is often overcrowded. To let the Coromandel Express pass through the main line quickly, a slow train was asked to stop at the loop track. This train had iron ore. At the same time, the 12864 Yashwantpur Express, which was going towards the Havra of Bengal, was on the main downline. This train also had many patients and their families. They wanted to go to the hospital in Whitefield and Parthi for treatment. These 2 trains were not supposed to stop at this station. So that the express trains don't stop at the station, the assistant station manager decided to ask 2 freight trains to stop at the loop line. 2 things are important for a train: its speed and its track. And both these things run on a separate system. The speed is the responsibility of the train driver, who is called the locomotive pilot. The pilot can see several signals. Like how cars have a traffic signal, the train has a signal. This is to tell the locomotive pilot at what speed the train should run. The train's track is determined by an interlocking system, which can be manual or electronic. In the Odisha accident, the system was electronic. This system basically gives a signal to the train pilot. If the signal is green, it means the train can go through the main line. If the signal is yellow, it means the train has to pass through the loop line. The signal, a pilot can see, and what will be the track, both the things are actually interconnected. If the system says the train should go through the main line, the signal will be green. If the system says the train should go through the loop line, the signal will be yellow. If the signal is yellow, the locomotive pilot will slow down the train speed so that the train can stop at the loop line. The locomotive pilot was shown a green signal, which means the train could go through the main line. But after a while, the signal was removed. Despite the green signal, the track was turned to the loop line. This was confirmed by the locomotive pilot. Jaya Varma Sinha, she is a member of the railway board, said in an interview that the locomotive pilot said the train moved forward when he saw a green signal for the main line. The pilot's condition is critical and he is in the hospital. According to Jaya Varma Sinha, preliminary findings show that there was a problem with the signaling. The preliminary report showed that the route relay panel guided the train to go through the main line, but the track was actually switched towards the loop line. Since the signal was green, the Coromandel Express pilot was running the train at full speed, at 128 km/h. At this time, the Coromandel Express, which was on the main upline, was left behind by the Yashwantpur Express, which was on the main downline. Since the track was switched towards the loop line, the Coromandel Express entered the loop line at a very high speed. Generally, the switches on the track are not designed for high speed. When you enter the loop line, your speed should be very low. But since the Coromandel Express was moving at a very high speed, the train derailed and hit the goods train. The goods train had iron ore. The iron ore is so stable. Its center of gravity is so stable, so that it didn't move when the Coromandel Express hit it. It moved a little but it stayed in place. This was the reason for the huge frontal impact, which caused many people to die. Remember, the Coromandel Express derailed due to the high speed. Some of the coaches of the Coromandel Express derailed to the main downline on which the another train, which name is Yashwantpur Express, was about to come. After 20 minutes, the last 3 coaches of the Yashwantpur Express and 13 coaches of the Coromandel Express collided with each other, which caused more deaths. Sudhanshu Mani, who was involved in building the Vande Bharat trains in India, said that a train driver can't control the track position. The track actually decides where the train will go. Many railway experts said that this electronic system is used in India every day millions of times. So, what went wrong this time? What did it go wrong this time? Or does it always go wrong, but this time it resulted in an accident? According to reports, the assistant station master, S.B. Mohanty, ran away from the accident site. This shouldn't be surprising because he must have thought that his life was in danger. If we consider the preliminary investigation, the assistant station master was not at fault. The railway minister said that according to the preliminary investigation, this was due to the failure of the electronic interlocking system. Changes were made in the electronic interlocking system and that caused the accident. It's a computer-controlled system that decides which train will go on which track. Jaya Varma Sinha, a member of the railway board, said that this system is error-proof. It said that even if this system fails, the signal should be read so that the locomotive pilot can stop his train. She said that the system shouldn't have allowed the Coromandel Express into the loop line. A railway expert said that this system is used in India millions of times daily. So why did this system fail this time? He said that this didn't happen for the first time. In 2005, the Sabarmati Express in Vadodara district of Gujarat crashed into a goods train when it was mistakenly allowed in a loop line. But we still don't know why this happened. Jaya Verma says, suppose a person digs a hole in the ground without checking if the cables are passing under the place. It's possible that the cable might get cut. It could even be short-circuited. 99.9% of the time the system wouldn't fail. But 0.1% chance of failure is possible. One thing we should remember is that both the express trains were new types of trains. They had new LHB coaches. LHBs are German coaches that are safer. ICFs are old coaches that don't have good technology and safety. LHB coaches have an anti-telescopic safety design. This means that if a train crashes, the coaches behind it are separated from the coaches ahead of it, so that the coaches behind it don't get affected and they don't get involved in the accident. This technology saved many lives in this accident. If it wasn't for this technology, all the coaches would have crashed into each other. The consequences could have been dire. A survivor said that when the accident happened, 10 to 15 people fell on me. I got hurt here. And when I got out of the train, I saw somebody had lost their limbs. Others' faces were damaged. Many people are asking what about the Kavach system that was launched with fireworks by the Indian government. Both the trains involved in the accident didn't have the Kavach system. The railway minister even said that even if the system was installed, it wouldn't have stopped the accident. Why? Let's find out. I already gave you a brief description how the Kavach protection system works. It was installed in the Vande Bharat 2.0 train between Gandhinagar and Mumbai. But not just the railway minister, even railway expert Sudhanshu Mani believes that the Kavach system wouldn't have stopped the accident in Odisha. He says that the Kavach system can only stop the train when it is crossing the red light or is about to collide with another train. This system cannot change the track. In the Odisha case, the track went towards the loop line. You might say when the train went into the loop line and was about to collide with the goods train, the system could have prevented the crash. But when the train was in the loop line, the train didn't have enough time to stop before the goods train. The train was moving at a speed of 128 km per hour. So, it was impossible to stop the train after it crossed the loop line. The Kavach system is being used on high-density routes, like the routes that connect India's 5 major centers, Chennai, Kolkata, Mumbai, Delhi, and Guwahati. But we shouldn't assume that the Kavach system will save us all. Let's look at the reports of CAD, Indian Railways, and NCRB. According to NCRB, in the last 10 years, 260,000 people have died in train accidents. But if you compare a safety record with other countries, it's not that bad. In 2019, India's accident rate per billion train kilometers was 0.5. While Germany's was 0.45 and France's was 0.25. And this situation has been improving for the past few years. In the last 20 years, the number of serious train accidents has decreased. In 1995, 398 serious train accidents occurred. This year, the figure is only 48. But that doesn't mean that people aren't dying in these accidents. In 2021, more than 16,000 people died in train accidents. But how do we solve this problem? First, we need to understand how people die. NCRB categorized railway accident deaths into 5 categories. In 2018, 13 school children died at a railway crossing near Gorakhpur. A school van driver was trying to cross a crossing. The van got into an accident and the children died. In fact, this is how most people die in train accidents. Most people don't die when two trains collide, but when a train collides with a car or people. According to the 2021 NCRB report, out of 16,000 people, more than 11,000 died when they fell off a train or when a train collided with them. These children died at an unmanned railway crossing. A crossing where no one is there to warn them not to cross. In 2015, 28% of train accidents took place at such crossings. In fact, the BJP government has solved this problem. When the Modi government came into power, in 2014, there were 9,000 unmanned crossings in India on broad gauge lines. These are the lines that are mostly used in our railways. In 4 years, the Modi government either removed 5,500 crossings, meaning people couldn't cross them anymore, or they appointed men at the crossings to take care of the people. This meant that by 2019, 3,500 crossings were left. In 6 months, the Railway Ministry either eliminated all the crossings, meaning they either eliminated them or manned them again. This is a good thing, but we shouldn't forget that 2 years ago, 11,000 people died when they fell off a train or when a train collided with them. I didn't find any other information in the government reports about what we should do to solve this problem. Out of 16,500 people, 5,000 died due to other reasons. The NCRB has no information about what these other reasons are. 86 people died when trains collided with each other. This usually happens when the pilot is given the wrong signal or when he was tired. But if our electronic interlocking system is on every train and is working properly, accidents like this should not happen. Finally, 22 people died when the train derailed. This usually happens when the train and track are not being maintained. The question is, why is not the Indian Railway is not able to solve these problems when they are the biggest employer in the world? It is easy to understand. Yes, airplanes. Basically, the railways are not able to make enough money. In 2017, the Rashtriya Rail Sanraksha Kosh was created to maintain the railways. The fund was worth 1 lakh rupees crore. But there was a condition. The railways had to pay 5,000 crore rupees per annum from their revenues. But the problem was that the railways themselves didn't have the money to contribute. In 2021 to 2022, the railways lost 15,000 crores rupees. And there are many problems behind this. First, the number of passengers on the railways is decreasing. In 2017, the number of passengers fell from 11,27,000 to 5,90,000 in 4 years. You might say that if the number of passengers is decreasing, the prices should increase. But we should remember that the objective of the Indian Railways is to make sure that everyone can use the railways. That's why the prices are kept low. A former chief engineer of the railways said that the passenger traffic is decreasing on the trains because people want to go for faster options like by road or by air. You might say that if the railways aren't making money from the passengers, they should do so from the freight trains. But there is a problem. The rate between 2017 and 2021 has also decreased. So basically, the railways don't have the money. This raises another problem. An employee of a Central Railway ticket booking office in Mumbai said that he is working double shifts for 16 hours a day because they do not have staff who can take his position while he rests. That is why he said that he is preparing for his law exam so that he can get a transfer to the department's legal section and not have to work 16 hours a day. This situation is common among railway employees. Train pilots also have to work for many hours. Sanjay Pandey, who works for the Indian Railways Loco Running Men organization, said that technology and funding are an issue. Moreover, the pilots are pressured to run more trains in lesser time. Don't think that the railway staff is not hardworking. If you look at productivity, the Indian railway staff is more productive than the staff of France and Germany. The problem is that there aren't enough people in the department. A report showed that the safety staff had a 16% shortage. So what's the solution? Basically, there are two things. Former Railway Minister Dinesh Trivedi said that the government will have to invest in the railways without relying on the money of the railway. It's impossible to rely on the money of the railway itself. The second solution is to change the priority. Dinesh Trivedi said that the focus of the railways is now on Wi-Fi and catering while the basic operations have been forgotten. A former railway engineer said the same. He said that the government is investing in the launch of new trains but is not focusing on improving safety and infrastructure. This is actually the main reason that Indian Railway is going in loss because government never lose a chance to get the popularity and that they cannot get from the old trains. That's why they are focusing on the new trains called Vande Bharat. There is recent evidence of this. A few days ago, the railway minister called a meeting. An official said that there was little discussion on safety while more discussion was on the development of Vande Bharat trains and revenue. Do we need Vande Bharat trains? Yes, of course we do. But we shouldn't forget that most people in India are not travelling on Vande Bharat trains. They are travelling on trains like the Hospital Express. The people of Coromandel Express had hoped that when they boarded the train, their medical situation would be solved. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. During the accident, some news channels were reporting about Hindu-Muslim and some news channels were reporting about the parliament. While people were donating blood near the site of the accident. Should the railway minister resign? In my personal opinion, no. If you look at his qualifications, he is qualified in our country for this job. He has worked as an IAS and worked for Siemens and GE Transportation. But does this mean that he should not be held accountable? No, he should be. But not immediately. We should investigate if he knew that such accidents could happen. And if he took the necessary steps. And finally, we should see his reaction after the accident. Is he trying to fix things or not? But if we feel that he didn't work properly before the accident or didn't work properly after the accident, then we should definitely ask for his resignation. But I don't think that a qualified minister should be forced to resign without such an investigation. I don't think that it will benefit our country and our citizens. I hope you found this video informative. Thank you for watching it. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and activate the notification bell to stay updated.